Do you find that you jump to the worst case scenario when you experience pain? Today, I will explain how pain and catastrophizing affect each other. I'm Professor Shania Rathod, a psychiatrist in the United Kingdom. I make educational videos on mental well-being and post them weekly on my YouTube channel. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss out on the next one. Catastrophization or catastrophizing is a cognitive distortion where a person consistently expects or imagines the worst possible outcome in a given situation, even when the likelihood of such an outcome is low or exaggerated. This type of thinking can lead to heightened anxiety and stress as the individual assumes that a minor issue or challenge will inevitably spiral into a major catastrophe. Write in the comment box if you have done this. For example, someone might catastrophize by thinking, if I don't do this well on this presentation, I will get fired and never find another job, even though the actual consequences of a less than perfect presentation are likely far less severe. So, how does this apply to pain? Catastrophizing, especially in the context of pain, is a key psychological factor that influences how we perceive and experience pain. It has a profound effect on the pain experience because it amplifies the emotional and cognitive aspects of pain. Biologically, catastrophizing influences how the brain processes pain. We will discuss the biology of this in a future video. People who catastrophize tend to experience pain as more severe, have longer lasting pain, and are more likely to develop chronic pain conditions. Now, this happens because catastrophizing increases emotional stress, which in turn can heighten the sensitivity of the nervous system to pain signals. Moreover, the negative thinking associated with catastrophizing can interfere with pain coping strategies, leading to poor outcomes in pain management. So there are three main ways in which this can happen. First is helplessness. This is when pain feels overwhelming and you believe there is nothing you can do to stop it. Think about a time when you had a bad backache and instead of trying to manage it, you thought, I just can't handle this. It's too much. How will I get through the day? This will never get better. That feeling of being out of control doesn't just make the pain worse, it adds to your stress, making you feel even more defeated. Of course, this does not mean that you are not in pain. The helplessness makes you feel defeated, which can cause anxiety and stress on top of the pain. Second is rumination. This is when you can't stop thinking about the pain. You keep replaying it in your head, like when you have sprained an ankle and keep focusing on how much it hurts. It becomes hard to think about anything else, and because you're constantly reminded of the pain, it starts to feel bigger and more unbearable than it might be. Again, it does not mean you're not experiencing the pain. It just means that your brain gets preoccupied with it and the worst case scenario. Third is magnification. This is when you start worrying that the pain might be something more serious than it is. Now imagine you have some back pain after lifting something heavy. Instead of thinking, I probably just strained a muscle, you start panicking. What if I really hurt myself? What if I have a slip disc? What if? This fear amplifies your emotional response and suddenly the pain will feel much worse than before. And at the severe end of this, there's also health anxiety, where you focus so much on it that you believe something sinister is happening to you. If you haven't already, please watch my video on health anxiety on this channel. These three ways of thinking, that is, feeling helpless, obsessing over the pain, and fearing the worst, can create a cycle that makes pain much harder to manage. When we get stuck in this mindset, the emotional distress adds layers to the physical pain, making it a bigger challenge than it needs to be. So if you find yourself in this situation, here are 3 simple tips on how you manage catastrophizing and reduce its impact on your pain experience. First is challenge your thoughts. When you catch yourself thinking, this is completely unbearable, what if this is something really serious, although the doctors don't think so? What if they are missing something? Take a moment to pause and ask yourself, is this thought really true? Try to reframe it in a more balanced way. For example, instead of I can't handle this, you might say I have managed pain before and I can get through this. Help is available. Shifting your mindset can help break the cycle of negative thinking. Secondly, distract yourself. Focusing too much on the pain makes it feel worse. So it's helpful to find activities that take your mind off it. Engage in something you enjoy, like reading, watching a movie, or talking to a friend. Even a brief distraction can give your brain a break from constantly thinking about the pain, reducing the intensity. Third, practice relaxation techniques. Stress and anxiety make pain worse, so calming your mind and body is key. Deep breathing exercises, meditation, and even simple stretches can help relax your muscles and lower stress levels. The more you calm your body, the less intense the pain will feel. And most importantly, don't forget to seek help if you find yourself in this situation. If you've enjoyed today's video, please subscribe to my channel. The more subscribers I have, the more YouTube gives me the ability to make more creative videos. Like it, share it, tell it. Tell it to all the people you know. And thank you for watching.